Hello everyone, Tournament1234321 here, and today I'm bringing you guys a video of how to overclock your computer. Now, this video is mainly designed for the EVGA GTX 750 for the win graphics card, as you can see at the bottom, right down here. Oh, by the way guys, I am recording in 2K resolution if you cannot see, with Shadow Play. 2K, it only goes up to 30 frames per second, got a custom resolution, recording my microphone gameplay. I'm going to try to upload this at 2K resolution. If you cannot, if it's kind of stuttering, I've noticed that on Chrome. Go to Internet Explorer. I know not many people use Internet Explorer anymore, especially young people, but 4K and anything above 1080p really runs fine on Internet Explorer. It just it just doesn't work right on Google Chrome. I don't know if that's Google's fault. I don't know. Whatever. It's a nice little feature to have. All right. So the default clock on this graphics card is 1228 megahertz, as you can see. With the little white arrow right here, this is the base clock, what it's stocked at, what EVGA programmed it at. The boost clock is, if it needs extra horsepower, it can go up here, which is about, I don't know, 13,000, a little over 13,000. But that's not enough. We're going to go higher than that. Well, okay, first of all, some games do not like they do not like playing at overclock settings, particularly Battlefield 4, which is very unfortunate. I would love to play the game overclocked, but I mean you can, but it's more likely your game will crash and it'll reset, your game will freeze, you gotta pull up Task Manager. It's just a real pain in the ass. I would just play with it default, the graphics card default. If you're playing Minecraft, then go ahead, go with this max setting that I'm gonna show you guys. And I really only tested it on Goat Simulator, which is a fun game, Minecraft, Battlefield 3, and Battlefield 4. I would not recommend it for any of the Battlefields. This graphics card default, it can run it fine. It can run the games fine, depending on the situation, of course. So, you guys, okay, so Battlefield, don't overclock. Minecraft, anything else, go ahead. So, now, here we have, this will be automatically locked when you download. Now, you want to know where to get this, and I'm going to show you. Here, just look up EVGA Precision X, and go to the website here. I will leave a link below in the description of how to get it, and here it is. Then you just download and select your platform. We're doing Windows. Yep. And I'm actually going to show you guys how to download, not like those people who just skip over it. Now we just wait for it to get here. Alright. Well, now you open it. Open the file. Well, it'll show down here if you have Chrome. It'll start downloading. Click on it. Then it'll open up. See, it'll open up the setup. Okay, we're going to open it. Here it is. Click on it. Yes, let it download. Okay, installing. Now I already installed this, so yeah, okay, it's installing. Next. Clean install. Yes, I would like that. Finish. And it's installed. Alright, cool. Thank you for that. And here we have your graphics card temperature, which right now is hovering at about 29, 28 degrees Celsius, which is pretty good. We're pretty good right now. Core voltage, which is really the juice of this thing, and the faster your card runs, the hotter it's gonna be, which is kind of obvious. And now here at the bottom, you'll see your profiles. Now you can right-click to save your different profiles. So let's say you want it at to run 72%, 67 degrees, extra 600 megahertz, negative 543. You have this, so then you right-click, and then it saved the profile, and then right-click again to unsave. And then whenever you just want to get it, you just hit whatever you need, and you always have default right here if you need to go back to normal. While setting it, you can either pull the slider, which is kind of unreliable because it's really delicate, and then what I do, you can just move the slider here, and then use the arrow keys to adjust it to what you want, of course. Now, I tend to put the priority in the GPU temperature because I do not like a hot graphics card. You're going to need to unchain that, and I'm going to lower it down to 75, which is good. Now here, on the left-hand side, you will see the fan speed. And this is kind of important. It's going to be how loud your system is. This is what I have right now. So here's what it is. Fan speed running at 40% at when the graphics card is running anything below 30, the fan speed will always remain at 40%. If it goes hotter, which in this case it's not, it'll always stay at 40%. Now, when you start playing more intense games, the temperature will go up and the fan speed will increase. Yours might not look like this because I have adjusted it, see? You can change it all you want, which I'm going to leave it about there. And you can add any more lines you want, so you can just go put an extra dot there and do whatever you want with it. So I tend to have it like this because if it's I'm probably going to move it like that. Because if the graphics card's really getting that hot, if it's getting over like 91, we're gonna have to go 85. I'm putting there. If it's getting that hot, which is really hot, I have never seen the graphics card hit really anything higher than 65, which really isn't that, which is really hot, by the way. So this is your fan speed. Yeah, it has a live time, or you can adjust it manually. Here, I don't know if you guys can hear us. I'm going to try to put my microphone by the fan. I'm going to increase it by 100% and apply it. I don't know. I'm going to see if you guys can hear this. Now we're going to turn it back down. Alright, I hope you guys were able to hear that, but you can hear a significantly large difference between 40% and 100%. Now, voltage. Okay. So voltage is really, really important when overclocking a graphics card, because the higher you increase the clock speed, the more unstable the graphics card becomes. So you need to add extra voltage to compensate. And the more voltage you add, the hotter it gets. So you gotta find that sweet spot between performance and temperature. Now K-Boost basically makes your card run at full speed, which would be this. Not your overclocked speed, but this default speed, the maximum speed your default graphics card can go, and it runs it all the time. So if you're ever overclocking your graphics card and somehow your clock speed drops down to, let's say, 400 megahertz, which is really slow for a game, and it's not going back up, then turn on K-Boost, it'll pop it right back up. I personally don't use it that much, usually only when my core clock gets stuck, then I use it, but I really don't use it that often. Now, overvoltage is what you will need to enable to increase the voltage for your graphics card. Now, we're going to enough messing around, I'm going to show you guys what I have. Now, this is exactly the settings I have. I have unbroken the chain that connects power target and GPU temp. I have it 75 degrees for my GPU target, and I put temperature as priority because the hotter your components are, the shorter they will last. I have increased the GPU clock set by 115 megahertz, memory clock offset by 250 megahertz, and I've increased the core voltage by 25 megavolts. I don't know if that is whatever. Well, anyway, you can come down here and select if you have multiple graphics cards. The GTX 750 does not support NVIDIA's SLI mode, so you will most likely only have one graphics card unless you have a certain different motherboard. So this is how I run it. Now we're going to run some benchmarks over here, and I'm going to have, I always have this hardware folder to monitor. I'm going to pull up GPU-Z, which monitors my graphics card. I think it's a really excellent program. It monitors everything about your graphics card. I think it's a really excellent software. Alright, I'm going to enable, we're going to run it at default settings. Alright, we're running default now. Now I'm going to start up in overclocking software. In this case, we will be using Heaven Benchmark 4.0. Alright. Okay, we're here. DirectX 11, quality ultra, tessellation. Let's turn it down to normal. Anti-aliasing, that. Resolution. Okay, like that. Full screen, and let's run it. See how it runs. Now I will come back to you guys after the benchmark is finished. I'm going to run the benchmark. I'll show you the results right after, and then we're going to do this again, and it's going to be overclocked. So I'm going to show you guys the frame rate difference, okay? Alright, once this thing starts up, I will cut it off and start the benchmark and let you guys know how it goes. Be right back. Alright, so we have an average FPS of 32.8 with a score of 827 FPS. There you can see my settings and my system settings so you all know what the equipment is. Now we're going to try this overclocked. I'll let you guys know how that goes. Alright, we are now running it overclocked. I will let you know how this goes. We are running the GPU clock at exactly... Well, I don't know if I just got that on video or not, but apparently it crashed. See, that is exactly what happens when you run it overclocked. We are going to try a different overclocking system, EVGA Overclock Scanner X instead. So, really, yeah, that was unexpected. So we're going to run a resolution, full screen, anti-aliasing, 8, connect to position X, and artifact scanner. And now we will be running at default settings, and we are going to run the benchmark. I will let you know how this goes. Alright, now we are back, and we are now had benchmarking is finished, and we have run at about 133 frames per second with a score of 7,986 points. Now I'm going to overclock the system, and here, I'll show it to you guys right now so you guys can believe me. Okay. Now, pull it back. Overclock. There we go. And now we're going to run it again. And I will let you guys know how this goes. Alright, we are back, and now I finished overclocking testing, and we had at exactly 143 frames per second. I did see it go higher, but now it just stopped here. This is the frames per second. We had a score of 8,632, and to prove it to you that it's overclocked, I have GPU, well, it just went back down, as you can see. And it's still overclocked. Now, I will be uploading this video very soon, as you guys are probably watching it already. So, again, I recommend not playing certain games with this overclock setting because, again, it does not like Battlefield games, really. One tip you can use is to not overclock it this high, and you can lower the voltage a little bit. What you can do is go back to default and up the main core clock by 10 megahertz, by 10 megahertz, and increase the memory clock by 20. And keep doing it, run the benchmark every single time. Well, I don't think you need to do every single time, but yes, you can increase it by 10, 20, 10, 20, 10, 20, 10, 20 until you get your limit. Now, that was overclocking. I will try to be doing more videos, and please let me know if this video is running in 2K resolution later today. I'm going to upload it very soon. And anyway, thanks for watching. Turtleman out.